Good morning. So I'm finally getting around to do the hips and shoulders combined video. So we're really going to concentrate on opening the shoulders, opening the hips. We'll work with them closed a little bit, just obviously to counteract, to create balance. We're not going to do too much strength building today because we did a lot of that in the individual videos, but there'll be a lot of stretching, a lot of opening, a lot of breathing into it and feeling into it. We really want to make this quite relaxing and sort of counteract the stresses of Western postures and Western life. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you haven't yet subscribed, that would be ace, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so we're going to start off this hips and shoulder opener with 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing. 1 minute breath hold, 1.5 minutes, and 2 minutes. It's really going to fire us up ready for our practice. Okay, so either lie on your bed, the sofa, or on your mat with a pillow. Get yourself comfy, and we're doing 30 big belly breaths. Breathing down into the belly, the chest, the head, and then releasing. So we're breathing in at 100% of our capacity, right down into the stomach, filling the lungs, and then just taking that extra sip of air up into the head. And if you start to feel lightheaded or pins and needles, that's absolutely fine. That's to be expected. It's all good. If anything, imagine you're sending even more breath there and really intensify the sensation. We're hyper-oxygenating the body deliberately to put it into hormetic stress. It's going to have an amazing healthful effect and health benefits. We've got 9 more in this round. We'll do 30 breaths this round, 35, and then 40 in the next one, final one. 5 more here. This is just a 1 minute breath hold, so I want you to try and do it with your breath completely out. Okay, this is our last one. Big breath in, and then release all of the breath. And let's just hold this breath out. It's just 1 minute. And relax. Relax the shoulders into the mat as though you are butter melting on a hot sun. Literally your body, your feet are falling open, your hips are open, your back, everywhere you're touching the surface is completely relaxed. No tension in the face or the neck or the shoulders. Let go of the knees, open out the feet, just relax. Really enjoy this time. As usual, I'm going to be heavily photobombed by children and animals. Got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, big breath in, recovery breath. And hold it. Pull up on the root lock, stomach lock, and the throat lock. Push this breath right into the brain. Imagine you're decalcifying your pineal gland, firing up the pituitary. Really reconfiguring. And release. Well done. Let's take it to round 2, 35 breaths. Breathing in and out. There's no gap at the top of each breath, so it's a breath in, and then as you get to the top, you immediately begin to release. And we don't release all of the air. We release about 70%. It's a passive out breath and a forced in breath. Literally imagine you are like a wave steaming up onto the shore with great power and maximum velocity, and then you seep and trickle back to the sea. So it's a huge breath in and passive out breath. Keep going, you're doing really well. I always find keeping the eyes closed down helps me really focus on the breath, find rhythm and cadence with it that suits my body. It's all about finding a rhythm that suits yourself. If you don't like breathing through your mouth, and breathe through your nose, 10 more breaths. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you breathe through your mouth or your nose. It's just about taking those huge breaths. I've got 5 more in this round. Last one in and release. Amazing. Let's hold this. It's only 1.5 minutes. So once again, let's try and do a breath out, breath hold for 90 seconds. Really, really seeping into that mat. Focusing on every sensation in the body. First of all, isolate the sensations. Visualize them. And then focus on your body as a whole and the overall feeling that this process is creating. You're doing really well. Keep going. Got 30 seconds left. You've done a minute. Well done. Keep going. Really nearly there now. If you do want to hold your breath for longer, obviously, I'll cue you up as 10 seconds to go as usual, and you can pause the video and carry on holding your breath. Okay, we've got 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Hold it. Pull up on the root lock. Hold this breath. Push it upwards. Really even push up in the muscles between your ears. And release. Well done. Okay, let's take it to round 3. We've got 40 big breaths. In and out. In and out. Circular breaths. Really just now imagine that with each and every in-breath, you're breathing in a sense of relaxation and you're letting go of tension and anything that's not serving you or anything that's stopping you from showing up for yourself. Just let it go with those out breaths. Picture it and let it go. Said I'm going to get photobombed a lot. 10 more. You're doing really well. Let's make these really big. They're the last ones of the practice today. Really, really, really just go to full capacity. 5 more. If you don't breathe at the same rhythm as me, that's absolutely fine. The important thing is that you're just getting that impact. Breathe in, release, and then let's close down the eyes. Breath out, breath hold for 2 minutes. Just really relax now. I had to explain to Macy in sign language at this stage that I couldn't get her a biscuit, and then explain to her brother that he had to get her a biscuit whilst holding my breath. And I should edit these things out, and the reason I don't is so many people say to me they don't show up for themselves because of their kids, because of their home life, because they've got this, that and the other going on. And I get it. But you can still do it. You can work around it. You can work with them. You can work around them. Mine quite often, as you all know, become part of the process. And that's only going to be good for them. And it's good for me. So it's good for them to see that you have that regime, that you show up for yourself, because then they're more likely to do it too. Which is why I never edit them out. Just to show for myself and for others what is possible. Okay, I've got 30 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is our last breath in. Huge breath. Really push this one upwards. Pull up the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock. Really push that breath into the brain. You're doing really well. Keep going and release. Okay, awesome. Well done. Just take some recovery breaths here. Come back to your own rhythm of your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Find your rhythm, find your pace. In and out, long slow breaths in and out through the nose. What I try to do at this stage is try to make my out breaths longer. Okay, then move the cushion away or come onto your mat if you're on your bed or your sofa. What I'd like you to do is take your feet to the width of the mat, bring your hands to goalpost or T, and then let's just windshield the legs from side to side. I don't want, you can have one sitting bone lifting, but the other sitting bone must stay on the mat. I'm doing this because it's very, very good at realigning hips. And I just want you to try, and we're just going to build a little bit more pace with it now. Just go slightly faster. Just taking that stretch as you bring it in. Okay, bring the feet to 90 and take them over to the left, but not all the way down. Take them over to the right, not all the way to the floor. Okay, back to the left. So we're using our core to prevent the knees coming all the way down. We will do a lot of counteracting closed hip, open hips with this practice. Keep going from side to side. Breathe into the centre and out as you're going side to side. Okay, then draw the knees to the nose and nose to the knees. Have a rock from side to side. And then we can rock up to sitting. And we're going to begin our practice in earnest. Now we will find some movement with this practice. It's going to be quite a classic vinyasa, but we won't be flowing as much as we would in a usual vinyasa practice. So come onto the knees. We're coming to gate pose. The right foot comes out facing forwards, and I want you to lean over that right foot. Don't do anything funky in the body here. So no leaning forwards, no leaning backwards. So the work is down that lateral side of the body. Now we're coming to a variation of side plank. So left hand comes to the floor, right hand comes over the top, and then take hold of the foot and open it out into a beautiful C position. You can feel the opening in the shoulders here and the opening in the hips. And then come back to the variation on side plank, back up to your gate. And then bring the hands to the mat, keeping the foot in the gate pose, facing the forwards. Raise the right arm and then post it beneath the left and stretch the left arm forward. So we're on the right cheek and the right shoulder. It's a variation on thread the needle. So we're getting a beautiful stretch and compression in the shoulders, and we're still getting a nice opening and a stretch in the lower back and a twist in the spine. Raise the arm back up to the sky. Come back up to gate pose. Take another lean over that right leg. Getting a stretch in that left side. And then come back to centre. We'll take all of those on the other side. So this time, we'll take our left foot out. Come up into gate pose. Raise the arms up high with an in-breath. And then lean over that left leg. Remember, we're not folding forwards or leaning back. And then we'll take that variation on the side plank. So this time the right hand comes to the floor and the left arm comes over. The left leg lifts. Now take hold of the left foot in the left hand. And then arch your back here. Really get rounding out in the back. Take the head back with you and gaze up to the ceiling if that's comfortable. Come back to centre. Then back to your gate, and then bring the hands to the mat. I would do thread the needle on the other side. So keeping that foot in gate pose, we're coming on to the left shoulder and left cheek. The left foot is out And you can really feel a lot going on in the body here. So just don't forget to keep breathing into it and enjoy it. With each out breath, you'll find your body will just give you a little bit more mobility and range of movement. Okay, raise that left arm back up to the ceiling. And then lean back over that left leg. Come back to centre. Excellent. Okay, I'd like you to come to all fours now. We're going to do a variation on cat-cow. And we're going to find movement in it. We're going to find some waving. So come forward. Backwards as we arch our back. And then come forwards as we concave the back. So come down, chest towards the mat, lean back. And as we raise our shoulders and back up, come forwards. So we're not just doing a regular cat-cow. We're doing a wave as well with the body. Okay, so breathe in, cow, come forwards. Breathe out, cat, lean back slightly. Excellent. Okay, we're just going to open those hips up a little bit more just to warm up them before we start a little bit more movement. So come into cobbler's pose, take hold of the feet, come up, stand up straight, sit up straight through the spine so we're not collapsing those shoulders. Just keep breathing here, really push those hips away from you. Excellent, well done. Okay, come to all fours again. Just going to lift the knees off the mat to a hover. Just finding some work in the core, just to warm that up a little bit. And then push back into your downward dog. And let's bend one leg and then the other, finding some movement. There's no weight in the head. Your arms are pushing up from the floor. The hands are spread. The feet are hips width apart and the heels are slightly turned out. Raise the right foot and open that hip with a bent leg. Even weight through the hand so the twist and the opening is all in the body and the leg, the hip. Make sure you keep the head absolutely relaxed. Okay, straighten that leg and then step it to the outside of the right hand. We're going to come into lizard pose, so just hold it with the knee up for a second. Find the stretch. Breathe into it. And then turn that right foot out slightly. Bring the left knee down to the mat. And if you're comfortable, come onto the elbows. And we'll do lizard pose. Just breathe into this. It's a strong stretch. If you can't come down to the elbows, stay up on the hands. Or you can take a cushion or a bolster or a rolled up blanket. Do what you need to for support. And then we're going to heel toe that right foot over towards the left hand. The right knee comes to the right hand. Going to take a variation on pigeon here. We're going to do mermaid pose. So breathe in into swan. Take hold of the left foot with the left elbow. And if you can, take the bind. So we're holding on with the right arm, comes over the back of the head and hold on to the left. If you can't do that, just hold the foot in the crook of your left elbow and keep your right arm held forwards. Okay, well done. And then come back into a three-legged dog with the right leg lifted. And then downward dog. Breathe out. Come back to your breath in these downward dogs. We're going to take all of that on the other side. So the left leg lifts, bends the knee, open the hip. Even weight through the hands, remember, so the work is all in those hips. Really opening that hip. Okay, then we're going to step that foot to the outside of the left hand and just hold that, get the stretch. We're beginning to come into our lizard pose. And then turn that left foot out, bring the right knee down to the mat, and if you're comfortable, come onto the elbows and just breathe into this stretch. Again, if you need support with this and want a block or a bolster or a cushion, it's absolutely fine, or you can stay upright. It's very, very strong hip opener and stretch. Okay, then heel toe the left foot to the right, the left knee to the left hand. Breathe in, come up into swan pose, take a back bend, and then take hold of the right foot with the right elbow. And if you can take the bind, Take the left elbow over your head and you're gazing backwards towards that foot. If that's uncomfortable, then you can keep your left arm out towards the wall and just hold on to the foot with the elbow. This is mermaid pose. Okay, without letting that foot spring back, come back to your pigeon, breathe in, back bend, and then breathe out, three-legged dog with the left leg lifted, and then back to downward dog, and just take some breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. Then hop forward, or walk forward to the front of your mat. Breathe out, forward fold. Then breathe into chair pose. Arms raised. And then aeroplane chair with the arms back to chair pose, and then balanced aeroplane chair, so onto the toes with the arms back to chair pose, and then rise up to standing. Okay, breathe in, raise the arms high, breathe out, bring them through heart center. Breathe in, back, bend, raise the arms high, and then breathe out, cactus the arms. Breathe in, back to center. Breathe in, chair pose. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. And then bring the hands to the mat, step back to a high plank. And we're going to take a side plank with variation. So come onto the left arm and raise the right hand above the head, gazing down to the mat. And then we're going to lift the left leg into the right thigh, if possible. Don't put it on the knee. Keep breathing and keep that hip bumped up. Okay, bring both hands back to the mat. And then step through to a low lunge with the right foot at the front of the mat between the hands. And then turn that back heel down. Get your balance, then raise up to warrior one. So the hips are facing the front of the room. Internally rotate the shoulders. Take your hands into Venus lock behind the back bend, and then fold forward, humble warrior. So the right shoulder comes into the inside of the right knee. Just brush the knee with the shoulder and take the arms overhead. Breathe in, come back up, take a back bend. And then I want you to come back to your warrior one. We're going to straighten out that front leg. Hands come back to your Venus lock, so open the shoulders, breathe in, and then fold forward, pyramid pose. Bring the hands to the mat and then bring the head to the knee. Keep breathing here. The hips are square here, facing the front of the room, remember. Okay, then come back to your low lunge, so turn the back heel up. High plank, tip forward over those toes, chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Well done. Take your breath here, come back to your breath. Okay, we're going to do all that on the other side. So, I made a mistake there. I did a three-legged dog, but we're not going to do that. We're going to come to the side plank with the right arm down this time. And we're going to take the left arm over our head and we're going to bring the left foot into the right thigh. A variation on side plank, if that's comfortable. If not, just stay in your side plank or stay in your plank. Back to side plank and then step that foot, the left foot between the hands. Turn the back heel down. Raise up, warrior one with the hips facing the front of the room. Internally rotate the shoulders. Knit in the ribs and stand tall through the spine. Take the hands into Venus lock, back bend, gaze your head, take your head back, and then fold forward, humble warrior. This time the left shoulder brushes the left knee. Keep those shoulders nice and open. Breathe in as you come in, come back to your back bend, warrior one. Straighten out that leg, hands back to Venus lock behind the back, and then fold over that front leg. Bracing the arms as far as you can over your back if that's comfortable. Bring the hands to the mat and then fold that nose towards the knee. back to your low lunge, high plank, tip over those hands, chaturanga, breathe in, upward dog, breathe out, downward dog. Well done. Come back to your breath. We're not going to do a great deal of flowing, so we'll start doing more stretching in a minute. Okay, so we're going to take a twist and stretch sequence here now. So what I'd like you to do is come into shoelace pose. So the left foot on the mat, and we're going to stack the right knee on top of the left. Both sitting bones on the floor. This time the left arm lifts over the back and the right hand takes a bind below. If you can't do this, you can do it with a strap. But if you can do it and you're comfortable, fold forward and bring the head to the knee. This is shoelace pose. It's a yin posture. It's quite strong. So just go to where you are comfortable. Breathe in, come back up. Release the hands. Bring the right knee to the right foot to the floor, and we're going to gaze over those right shoulders. Half Lord of the Fishes. So the left hand is on the outside of the right knee. Gazing over, getting a really strong deep twist. Okay, I'm going to take the right leg along in the mat. The left foot comes into the right thigh. Look over your left shoulder, counter twist. And then raise that left arm high. And we're folding sideways over the right leg. So we're getting a strong stretch in the left-hand side of the body and an opening across that shoulder. If you can't reach your foot, it doesn't matter. Just go take your side bend to where you can and where you're comfortable. And then face that leg and just fold the body over the leg. If you can't reach your foot, again, it doesn't matter. Just fold to where you can. Okay, then counter twist over the left shoulder. And then take both legs out wide. We're going to do a forward, wide leg forward fold. Seated. And then bring the hands to the mat. Take the head back, open the shoulders. Really find a comfortable position. Make sure you're on those sitting bones. And then we're going to take eagle arms. So we're going to wrap, first of all, the right over the left. And then fold forwards. Keeping those arms in eagle pose. So keep the shoulders really active here. Come back up, breathe in. And then we're going to change over the cross of the arms. So the left comes over the right and takes a double wrap. Raise those shoulders up high, fold forward. Again, even in this folded position, we're keeping the shoulders working and active in this eagle pose. It's going to get a strong stretch right over the back there. Come back up, breathe in. Release those hands and then take the hands out to the feet if you can, keeping the feet facing upwards. I just want you to take some little pulses. If your hands can't reach your feet, it's fine. Your knees or wherever they get to is fine. But I just want you to pulse the body just slightly. And now bring that right foot into your left hip crease and then look over your right shoulder. Raise the right arm high and we're folding sideways over that left leg. So we're doing everything in reverse order, but so we do everything on the other side too. Getting that strong stretch in the side body. And then just fold over the foot, head to knee. Both hands reach for the foot if possible. Doesn't matter if we can't get there. And then come back up. Counter twist over the right shoulder. And then bring that left foot, stamp it on the outside of the right knee, and we'll take half Lord of the Fishes on this side. So we're gazing over the left shoulder. And the right elbow is on the outside of the left knee. Okay, and then we're going to do shoelace pose this side, so stack those knees. And this time, the right arm will go over the top, and the left arm comes underneath to take the bind. You could do this with a strap if you can't reach your hands. And then when you feel comfortable, you can fold forwards if that's possible. If your knees don't stack nicely like this, the important thing is you keep your sitting bones on the floor. It doesn't matter if they don't stack as neatly. It does take some time to do that. Okay, then I want you to come down onto your backs and come into a bridge with the hands linked underneath the body and onto your shoulders. And then take the feet to the width of the mat, turned outwards, and we're going to lift and raise, just getting more opening and a little bit of strength and movement into those hips before we finish. Just keep lifting and lowering those hips. Okay, bring them back in, just hold it for a few more seconds. Okay, then you can either now, for our inversion, we're going to do shoulder stand, so you can either take feet up the wall, or you can roll up onto those shoulders. We'll get a beautiful stretch across the back there. Remember not to turn your head in this pose. This is very strong on the cervical spine, shoulder balance. So don't turn your head in this pose. If you need to look first, that's fine, do that, and then do it yourself. Use your hands to support you and keep the majority of the weight into those shoulders. Okay, then lower the knees and vertebra by vertebra with your hands support yourself as you roll down. Awesome. Okay, we're going to take reclined pigeon. So the right foot comes onto the left knee and draw the left knee into the chest. Keep the back flat on the floor in reclined pigeon. Okay, then roll those knees over to the left, gaze over your right shoulder, passive twist. Keep that right shoulder glued to the mat. And then roll them back to centre, and we'll do that the other side. So the left foot comes to the right knee and draw the right knee into the chest. Pigeon, reclined pigeon. And then roll those legs over to the right of your mat and gaze over your left shoulder. Left shoulder stays glued to the mat. Okay, bring them back to centre. What I'd like you to do here, if possible, is we're going to bring the legs into cobbler's pose, but like butterfly pose, reclined. And I want you to come onto your shoulders. Now you could do this by putting a block underneath your back. I want you to tilt your head back slightly, but I want this to be a shoulder opener. So you can see there's a lower back bend going on. And then just counter stretch that. Take the right arm over the left arm over the right, getting a nice stretch across the body. Take those feet out of butterfly, open into Shavasana, and just take some big breaths in and out through the nose. Well done. We've really, really worked into those shoulders and hips. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more open and mobile. This is a really good counteraction for the modern day lifestyle. Okay, so either come up to sitting with me or stay in your Shavasana. If you're up with me, then bring your hands to your heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the divine light within you guide your way on. From my heart to yours, Sat Nam, Namaste, Waheguru.